Jill has gotten recently in a 2018 Ram 1500. This is the prior gen, but it's still a great looking truck and still drives right.
It is. So the interesting thing is, I wrote my article while I was on my way to France.
Oh, yes.
I basically titled the article last look at the 2018 Ram 1500 because the vehicle introduction was in Detroit, and they are doing the media launch in March. So we are going to be seeing the 2019 models really soon. And kind of in the lead of my article, what I say is, because this truck the design is basically 10 or 11 years old. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is not a new truck. And that's really old in the life cycle of vehicle design now. Most lifespans are only about 5 to 7 years, and then they're redesigning it, doing an all new model. So the fact that they've held on to this for 11 years is kind of noteworthy. And I noted in my article that it was very interesting that getting in, you could see why they waited, because it's still a very attractive truck. From the classic design, and granted, they've tweaked it along the way. They've done little refreshes. They've, changed the grille. But the bones of the truck are really good. And the model I had was actually the Tungsten version, so it was like the limited Tungsten with the Berber rugs and the little leather seat pouches on the back and all the little fine stitching. So it was really well done from like an interior elegance perspective, with heated seats, heated steering wheels. And I don't have the Monroney in front of me, but I want to say the vehicle as tested was actually, I think I have my article that I wrote. It was around $65,000 was the tested price. 63,870. So, yeah. So talking about your average transaction price for a full-size truck, that's about $20,000 more, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot of money for that kind of truck, but you get into that truck and it's clear why trucks are selling. I mean, it's a beautiful truck.
No, and they had like the 2 level to the center arm console, so like there was a really deep well that you could probably put like a laptop, an iPad, a larger purse. I usually carry almost a wallet-sized purse, and that fit in the top tier, and it just kind of flat in there. So if I was going to the gym, I'd just take my purse and stick it in there and close it in, and you couldn't see it. There's lots of side cubby holes for water bottles or sunglasses or things like that. So there's just like plenty of places where you could hide or store things inside the cabin. And then the truck that I had a covered truck bed, but so you could put something in there if you wanted to. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it was an attractive truck. It was a nice ride. Totally tackled those Chicago potholes really well. But the interesting thing that I noticed, there are 2 things, and there will probably be more after I drive the 2019 model, but there are 2 things specifically that I'm really looking forward to in the next gen. And thing number 1 is the placement of the USB ports. Because, I like to talk about auto stop. I like to talk about USB ports, and, those are things, and Apple CarPlay, those are the 3 things that I keep getting hung up on. But USB ports in the 2018 model are kind of hidden. And I actually had to post it on my Facebook page because I couldn't find where the USB ports were. And I'm like, surely there are USB ports. Even if there's only one, there's got, because like I saw the cord management system, but I was just like, I'm clear. And it was after the first time I got back from France. So I'm like, clearly I'm jet lagged. I'm missing something here. I don't, and the designer actually chimed in on my Facebook page and was like, oh yeah, they're in the top tier of the center console, but they're not faced towards the driver. They're kind of like faced backwards. So like even when you open it up and you look, you're like, I don't see them, but you have to kind of, well, maybe if somebody were in a normal driving position, they would see them, but in my far forward driving position, I totally missed them, and the designer for the vehicle actually had to point out where the USB ports were. So on the new model, the USB ports are actually on the center stack. So right up front, they're not hidden for easy access. So that's thing number 1 that I'm really looking forward to. And thing number 2 is, what did they say? It's like a 12-inch screen.
Oh yeah, it's the Tesla screen. I think it's like
People are not looking forward to it, but I think it looks really cool. And it's not standard, so if you didn't want it, you don't have to get it. You can get the stupid 8.4-inch whatever. But the 12-inch, it is like tablet size.
yeah, it is.
Like most laptops are 13 inches. You know, the screens are like my laptop screen is 13 inches, so you just take a little bit off of it and flip it vertical. And you can do like one big screen, so you can see the map all in vertical. You can divide it up and have like your map here and your audio here. It's configurable. Like one of the things I really like about the FCA touchscreen is kind of like, you know, the touchscreen of your cell phone where you can touch it and move apps around. So, you know, it'll be configurable like that.
Oh yeah, I mean their Uconnect system is, to me, the best in the industry. I mean it's an amazing system, and now you put that in a bigger screen. Whoa.
So I had an enjoyable test week in the Ram. I did not get anywhere near the fuel economy that they said I should get, but keeping in mind most of my driving was within the city and stop sign on every block in Chicago. So lots of stopping and starting. I never get the fuel economy numbers. So, but yeah, overall, really enjoyed it. I thought it was very easy for somebody who's my size to drive. I don't recall if it had blind spot monitoring, but I didn't think I needed it. But the big backup camera, always helpful. The vehicle was just large enough that I couldn't fit it into my garage. Just a little bit too long, and so like when you park in a parking spot at the grocery store, I felt like I took up 2 or 3 feet of the parking space behind me when I would pull into the spot. So I have to like park at the back of the lot, so I wasn't schmo taking up 10 parking spaces at the front.
Because nobody wants to be a schmo.
I don't want to be a schmo. That's just me, maybe. But no. So very enjoyable, and so basically what that did, driving that 2018 model right before I'm getting ready to drive the 2019 model, I'm like really excited because if the 2018 model is still that good, just imagine how good the 2019 model is.